Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm just gonna make a short video on one of the questions which I have received from various students, especially those who are doing some kind of research in the area of engineering, or it's valid for any scientific topic which you are working on. And those subscribers have asked that they have to read a lot of papers. It has a lot of information. Sometimes the information is not really clear to them, because when you read a paper there are many jargons and terms which are used and you are not able to understand those. So how can we optimize our learning and time, because we can't really spend too much time on just reading those papers and understanding, and then later on we lag behind what we are supposed to actually do our own projects. So I think it's good to read all those papers. That's what we did. It's an incremental process and learning curve is very steep. So it takes a lot of time and effort at the start on a specific topic. But once you have gone through few tens of papers, then you will see that you will understand all those jargons, and it will take less amount of time for you to really go through the stuff. But for those who are doing short-term thesis and short-term projects and they don't have really time to go through a lot of stuff, so I normally use one tool which is pretty useful, and again you have to really tailor it as per your own requirements. I think it's called SCISPACE Copilot. It's based on, again, ChatGPT and Generative AI. So if you enter this SCISPACE Copilot, then you can basically download the Google Chrome extension if you're using a Chrome, Google Chrome as your browser, or you can do it for others as well. Again, you can search on your own platform. So this is what it's called, SCISPACE Copilot. Once you click on it, then you can actually add it to your Google Chrome as an extension, and then you will be able to see it somewhere on the top here or in your extensions, and you can use it. So I will now show you quickly how you can do it. So let's say if you go to Google Scholar, you can go to Scopus, Elsevier, Springer, wherever you want to go for journal search. So I'm going to go with my profile, and let's say if I go and let's go with this paper first. So this is a very crazy paper. For example, your first time listening, reading about thermomechanical analysis and what is ultrasonic welding and what is this acoustic softening. So you read through this and you have a lot of new jargons there. So what you say, you just select the text. This is the whole summary, and it can also explain to you in detail what it says, and it can also summarize for you. In many cases, you are going through the papers and you want to write kind of a literature review of your project right at the start in your thesis, or even in a research paper as well. So in that case, you can read through it and then you can summarize it in few sentences or condense it in few sentences. So this can really do it for you. So you just select the text and summarize. And now this extension is now trying to authenticate, so you can connect it with your Google account. That's what I have done in my case. And now if you just go through it, then it keeps a record of the previous one. As you can see, I have done it before as well. And when I selected this text, this was just an abstract which was starting from ultrasonic welding process is a rapid manufacturing process, and so on. So it selected that whole reference. It automatically takes into account that, and now it's concisely writing what this abstract really tells you in 2 bullet points. So it says ultrasonic welding is a fast and energy efficient process for welding thin metal layers, which is correct, combining surface and volume softening effects. So this is the main effects which are there when you are doing ultrasonic welding. And then it says a material model incorporating the thermal and acoustic softening effects was proposed, which is correct. We proposed a new model there and validated through thermomechanical analysis of aluminum alloy welding. So we basically validated and showed the application of our new model on this alloy. And then again, you can find the reference for this as well here. And this way you can write a nice literature review for your project if you don't have really time to go through everything. And although when you are learning and you're a PhD student or an MSc student, and I would strongly recommend to go through it, but in case you don't have time, then you can quickly go through that. Again, we can try another paper and see how good it is. And again, you need to make sure that everything is written correctly. So you need to be on your own judge that is it correct or not. So let's say this was one of the paper we did. For example, let's go with some recent one. So in this case, this is still under review. So in this paper, if you click on this. This is still available. And in this case, we developed a new microstructure-based crystal plasticity constitutive model for metastable beta titanium alloys, which accounts for stress-induced martensitic transformation. So this is the abstract, which is pretty long. And if you look at that, there are quite a lot of jargons inside it. So again, you see, this is another problem. It can only go up to 2,500 words. So you might have to only select that length of thing. If you go for the pro version, you might be able to have a longer text. So I think this is too long. So I will just go until this first and summarize. It will again analyze the data. And then it will write a nice summary for me for until this point. And you see, this is a summary here. Again, 2 bullet points. Metastable beta titanium alloys are popular in various industries due to their attractive mechanical properties, and stress-induced martensitic transformation is an important deformation mechanism for these alloys. So this is correct, which is a very generic statement at the top. Crystal plasticity-based constitutive model has been developed to understand and demonstrate the evolution of martensitic transformation, which has been validated. So it basically gives you some technical information. And again, if you want to really summarize this as well, so you can also say summarize this, and then you can combine those two summaries together as well, because of the character or word limits we have right now. So you see, you have a summary for that as well. So it's a very nice tool, and you can see in just few minutes, in less than a minute, you can summarize a big paragraph into very nice things. And again, I mean, if you are not really confident about this, then what you can do, you can read it on your own, create your own summary, and then you can ask this tool to do a summary for you, get a comparison done there, and then you will find out that after a certain amount of time, what could be tweaked. Also, another thing is, let's say if I wanted to explain, let's say I'm not understanding this paragraph here, so I will say explain the text. And instead of summarizing, now it will explain it in more detail. And so we don't need to really go and Google this term. For example, what is enhanced ductility? If you don't understand what is superelasticity, for example, or what is shape memory effect, it should be able to explain it in its own word in a simplified way. So here you see it has created a nice long explanation in a very generic way. So again, you can read through it. I don't want to bore you. I hope this is kind of, so this gives you a very nice explanation, and you can read through it if you're really interested, and you can play around with this tool. I think it's a very handy tool. It saves me a lot of time nowadays, especially I have read 10 papers in detail, and then after a few months or few weeks, when I come back and look at those papers, I forget. I'm getting old, and obviously we do a lot of other stuff as well, so we can't really keep everything safe all the time in our brain. So what I do then, instead of going through everything again, normally what I ask my students to do is, whenever you read a paper, write a small paragraph or a summary of what you have read in that paper as you move on. Otherwise, you go back after a few days or few weeks, you will find out you have already forgotten what was there in the paper. So that when you look at that summary, it kind of gives you an overview. So you can also, if you haven't done that and you want to really go back, then you can use this tool to really create those kind of summaries that will be helpful for you, for your research, and also for in a quick time and in optimized time, you can get more information, more useful information from different scientific paper, which can be very long in some cases. So in this case, this paper is around 70 pages or 80 pages. So obviously, sometimes you don't have time for that. Although it's interesting, and please do read it, but this is one of the tools which I wanted to mention. So I hope you find it useful. All the best. Any other questions, please get back to me and I will reply. Thank you. Bye for now.